Okay, so the AI industry is going through a massive, honestly, kind of violent paradigm shift right now. We are totally abandoning that era where slow, expensive, giant cloud models ruled our entire workflow. Instead, we're rushing headfirst into this wild future of hyper-fast, localized intelligence that runs right on your actual desk. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to break down exactly how this revolution is happening, who is driving it, and why the tech world is literally never going to be the same. Let's get right into it.
So, let's start with a really crucial question. What happens when the world demands AI software faster than the cloud can actually deliver? That is the real bottleneck developers are wrestling with today. Imagine getting that spinning wheel of death, just agonizing lag while you wait for a distant server to process a prompt and send it back. The round-trip latencies of these giant frontier models are starting to choke the exact workflows they are supposed to speed up. It's like trying to win a race in a sluggish freight train when what you desperately need is a nimble sports car.
And Andre Kolprathi hit the nail on the head here. He noted, as working software becomes available on demand via AI, Jevons paradox is driving substantially increased demand for bespoke software tools. If you don't know Jevons paradox, it's basically this. When you make a resource cheaper and more efficient, people just end up using way more of it. It's like adding lanes to a highway to fix traffic, only to realize the wider highway just invites a ton more cars. Because models make coding so incredibly easy now, everyone wants custom dashboards and bespoke tools. But trying to route every single one of those micro-interactions through a massive server farm, yeah, it's threatening to completely overwhelm our cloud infrastructure.
Section 1. Enter Flux. Point 2. Klein, the catalyst.
Black Forest Labs has been moving at an absolutely breakneck pace to solve this latency problem. Back in November 2025, they optimized Flux Point 2 specifically for RTX GPUs. But actually, scratch that. They didn't just stop at optimizing big models. They knew the future meant shrinking them down without losing that mind-blowing quality. So just 2 months later, in January 2026, boom! They dropped the Flux Point 2 Klein models, a completely unified architecture built entirely from the ground up for the consumer hardware you already own.
The absolute game changer here is sub-second image generation. Unified architecture, optimized for consumer hardware, and built for real-time AI agents. When you're in the zone, right, you're in a flow state. Waiting 5 seconds for an AI to render your idea completely shatters your concentration. By engineering this specifically for consumer hardware, Black Forest Labs just made real-time, localized AI an actual, practical reality.
To really grasp the magnitude of this, we have to talk about interactive visual intelligence. Real-time performance enabling immediate, sub-second visual responsiveness for AI agents and creators. It is the absolute holy grail. Think about it. You draw a rough brushstroke on a screen, and before your pen even lifts off the tablet, the AI has perfectly rendered a photorealistic mountain right over it. No painful cloud latency, no progress bars. The machine literally visualizes as fast as you can think.
So how did they pull this off? 40%. They trimmed VRAM usage by an incredible 40%. They did this using FP8 quantization, working closely with NVIDIA. Basically, it shrinks the math of the AI just enough to make it drastically smaller without losing any of that crisp visual quality. This is the key that unlocks the whole shebang. High-fidelity AI art is now totally accessible on a standard gaming PC. You don't need to rent an expensive enterprise server farm for thousands of dollars a month anymore.
Section 2. The rise of small models.
This whole thing is part of a massive ecosystem shift. Think of it kind of like a boxing match. In one corner, you've got the heavyweight champions, massive cloud models, massive scale, slow round trips, super expensive, like Claude Fable 5. But in the other corner, you have the scrappy challengers, small local models, compact, sub-second speed, completely free to run, like Flux Point 2 Klein. And for most everyday tasks, these hyper-fast local models are absolutely crushing it and rapidly closing the performance gap.
And hey, it's not just images either. Let's think about the language side. Cohere Labs recently dropped Tiny Aya. It's a compact 3.35 billion parameter model capable of running locally right on device across 70+ languages. To put that in perspective, 3.35 billion is tiny for modern AI, but you essentially get a hyper-polyglot living completely offline inside your laptop. It translates and processes text instantly without ever needing to ping a Wi-Fi router.
Section 3. Hybrid Local Inference.
Now, what's really brilliant is tech companies aren't just picking one or the other. They're combining them into hybrid agentic inference. Take Perplexity, for example. Step 1, a task is received on your local computer. Step 2, a local small AI model instantly handles the basics, acting like your sous chef chopping veggies with absolute zero latency.
Then step 3, it seamlessly hands off just the powerful, heavy lifting to the cloud frontier model. You get blazing fast local speed backed up by world-class intelligence when you actually need it.
Section 4. Hardware driving the shift.
But listen, none of this software magic happens without the raw hardware. 105,000 times. That is how much less energy NVIDIA's latest chips use per token compared to just 10 years ago. It's a jaw-dropping exponential leap. It's exactly what makes running these local models practically free. The silicon has finally caught up to our wildest software dreams.
And look at what this cheap, powerful hardware does to the market. Open weights models, the ones you can run yourself, are maintaining a really tight, steady 6-month performance gap behind the massive closed frontier models. Basically, raw AI intelligence is fundamentally becoming a commodity. If you can get intelligence that's only 6 months behind the absolute bleeding edge, and you can run it for free on your own machine, well, the entire business model of big tech is going to have to evolve.
Section 5. The new app layer.
Because as the saying goes, when things get cheaper and more similar, they become commodities. The competition is shifting to the way we actually use it, the app layer. It's just like electricity. You don't ask who generates the best power, you just care about what amazing things you can plug into the wall. The brute force race to build the biggest model is over. The new battleground is how we creatively use these lightning-fast, localized models to solve real human problems.
Winning at this new app layer means bespoke software generation, single-use dashboard apps, real-time visual agents powered by Flux.2, local multilingual interactions via Tiny Aya. Imagine telling your computer a specific problem and it instantly generates a single-use app just for you, lets you solve the problem, and then deletes it seconds later. Literal burner software. It's all about immediate, highly personalized utility right at the edge of the network.
So, I'll leave you with this thought. With sub-second AI now running directly on your desk, what will you build at the new app layer? When latency completely disappears and visual intelligence is as instant as flipping a light switch, how are you going to use this breakthrough to fundamentally change the way you work? Let that sink in for a minute. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.